Let's continue this conversation. Congressman Mark Harris of North Carolina joining us now. Congressman, it's always good to see you. Let's start with this reconciliation vote later tonight. The bill proposes, the House version, alleged reductions in overspending over 10 years. No guarantees that Congress is going to hold up its end of the bargain. It won't make the tax cuts from President Trump permanent. And it, of course, raises the debt ceiling right away by $4 trillion. Assuming this vote happens, how are you going to vote?
Well, I'm going to vote for this bill because I feel like that this is a good bill. First of all, it's great to be with you today. I feel a little lonely that I don't have Baby Dog here with me. But I do want to say I am supporting this bill because I wholeheartedly believe that there's been a lot of conversations in my first 2 months here in Washington in my first term. There have been a lot of things that have been discussed, a lot of committee meetings, a lot of trying to come together. And we've got a bill that is going to cut spending in such a way that we've not done in really a generation. And I think to have that opportunity to have $2 trillion worth of cuts, and then, of course, to extend the tax cuts, which are going to be very, very important, it's a deal that I believe that every Republican ought to be able to get on board with. We're going to be able to take care of our military. Initially, the $300 billion for the military and for the border. All of those were promises that Trump ran on. All of them were promises we ran on, for that matter. And I just think it's important that we come together and that we pass this bill this evening, at least to get the engine started. That's what the whole thing's going to do. You know, we've been hearing the Democrats, I mean, their hair's on fire. They've been yelling about all of these things going to be cut. And the reality is that we've got to get the engine started here this evening in order to get to those cuts that are going to take place, the savings that we're going to find. And listen, we've seen all of these billions of dollars that DOJ has found, and I still say that's just the tip of the iceberg.
No, you're right, Congressman. And it's inconceivable to me that we'd still be spending money to the tune of $7.5 trillion in this upcoming budget. It's just insanity to me. And of course, you know, just because the Congress says they're going to save doesn't mean they will. I'm always in favor of triggers. If Congress performs, then it gets more of our money, but not until it does that. So I'm hoping, maybe hope springs eternal, that we'll get some more responsibility on the Hill in the future. Meantime, you know, it's been over a month since President Trump signed his declassification of the JFK files. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna is in charge of this task force reviewing these files, as you well know. She responded to a post from General Michael Flynn criticizing the delay, saying, quote, "Hey, General Flynn, you of all people would know that I nor the committee have any declassify authority. Declassification approval is done by Waltz, Tulsi, Bondi, and the White House counsel. You know this. We do need transparency, but we also need people like you putting out correct info," end quote. Did not President Trump declassify these files? He's the ultimate declassifier. Doesn't the buck stop with the commander-in-chief? If so, what's the holdup? Are we looking at another broken promise from Republicans like we saw with the January 6th video?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I also believe that we've got to give this administration time. I mean, let's face it, Pam Bondi is an incredible attorney general. I'm excited about Pam being in that position. Anybody that watched across America as she handled those hearings for her confirmation, have confidence in Pam. She's gotten into this role. I think just this past Friday, she sort of talked a little bit about the fact it's only been 4 days since she talked about things being declassified and her being able to put them out. But she has said that she is going to follow the leadership of the president. She said that we're going to get to the bottom of getting that information out, not only on Jeffrey Epstein, but also on JFK, on MLK, and a host of others. And I really believe that if you look at what's happened just in this first month of this administration, they've demonstrated more of a transparency than we've seen in any previous administrations that I can remember. And so they're committed to that. I think they're going to keep it. Listen, everything the man's been doing has been following that theme of promises made, promises kept. So I think we're going to see it. I think we've got to give them some time to do it. And listen, there's a lot happening, and I mean happening fast. And we've got to just, you know, watch it unfold.
Yeah, the American people have earned it. Certainly, sir. Finally, you sit on the House Judiciary Committee, and you just wrapped up a hearing on President Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship. Anybody who knows the history knows that the 14th Amendment was designed to give citizenship to the children of freed slaves. It was never intended to reward illegal aliens or foreign nationals having children on American soil. How quickly will this get to the Supreme Court where it can finally be adjudicated?
Well, I can't really speak to how quickly it's going to make its way up to the Supreme Court, but my line of questioning actually in the midst of that hearing was, what can Congress do? And to be honest, I'm very excited that I'm a co-sponsor of Representative Babin's bill that has been introduced basically to deal with this issue of birthright citizenship and to take it where it needs to be. And I'm excited about it because it makes clear the very point that you just made, that the 14th Amendment was not put in place so that illegal immigrants can come here and have children and they have birthright citizenship. And we all understand that. And it's going to be very important for Congress to codify it. It's one thing for the president to issue the executive order, but as I said in the hearing today, I think it's not only clear that we need to clarify what the 14th Amendment meant, but we need to codify it. And Congress can take that action. And that was one of the questions I had for one of the persons on the panel today.
Sure. Congressman, I've only got about 30 seconds, but I really want to get an answer to this. A former colleague of mine, Betty Johnson, did an interview with an FBI whistleblower. We've not been able to independently verify this, what this whistleblower says, but the allegation is that there are individuals inside the FBI who are destroying evidence of government malfeasance, that may be breaches of law. What is your message, if this is actually going on, and it's proven that it's actually going on, what would be your message as a sitting U.S. congressman to those in government who want to destroy files to potentially cover up criminality?
I think they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And I believe with Kash Patel as our new director of the FBI, and I'll go back with Pam Bondi as Attorney General, I believe that we'll see that take place. So there's a lot of things that all of us are interested in seeing unfold here. One of the things we talked about in our early days of the Judiciary Committee were, once these new leaders of different agencies got into place, we wanted to have them in for a hearing to let us learn as a committee about what they have found. And boy, this sort of explodes something that we would love to learn more about in these days to come.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the American people break the law, they are held to account. It would be refreshing to see that government gets the same treatment. Congressman Mark Harris, thank you, sir. Appreciate the time.